And that ground incursion is a first since this fighting began on July the 20th. We've had airstrikes before, but we haven't had actual ground force incursions into neighboring states. And I think it shows that the government needs to show that it's doing all it can against the PKK. With the 16 killed on Sunday, and I think it's now 18 killed today, that means the PKK has killed well over 30 people in 3 days, 30 security force personnel in 3 days. Also today, PKK shot dead a policeman in his car in Tunjali province. And in northern Iraq, the PKK released 20 officers that they had kidnapped in 2 separate raids during the past week. The PKK are clearly intending to send a signal there, as if they're not all bad. They are capable of releasing people that they've kidnapped. But the country is increasingly polarized. Anti-PKK mobs have attacked officers of the pro-Kurdish political party, the HDP, in many towns across the country overnight. Again, today, an anti-PKK mob corralled a group of Kurdish workers on a construction site in Konya, preventing them from leaving the site. And then another anti-PKK march last night went through a Kurdish district outside Ankara. Kurds in that district threw stones at the marchers, and it developed into a riot. Tension is rising in this country, and it really is quite dangerous.
And these tensions rising as the country prepares for snap elections at the beginning of November. What impact do you think the violence is going to have on the poll?
Yes, this is the question that everybody is asking, and the short answer is we don't yet know. Initially, it looked as if a large part of the electorate would blame the government for the collapse of the peace process. This PKK fight insurgency was revived when 2 days after the bombing of July the 20th, the PKK assassinated 2 policemen in their home. And the government replied to that with wave after wave of airstrikes. Now, that was seen as a disproportionate reply. And then the PKK said, right, well, with all these airstrikes, the ceasefire is over. And they let loose their forces of war. And now we have, what's going on. But with the polarization I was talking about just now, and the mobs attacking officers of the pro-Kurdish party, we might very well see a large part of the population rallying behind the government, closing ranks with the government, whereas others might, continue to blame the government for the collapse of the peace process.